Is Desperados 3 a bag of shit, or is it terrific? Stay tuned to find out.
And welcome to the latest installment of the Level 70 show. My name's Ryan, and joining me again today is the hatless Rob.
Is it weird? Is it really weird?
No, it's all right, mate. This week we're going to be covering the latest gaming news. We're going to be doing a review of Desperados 3. We are aware that this is the third THQ published game that we've reviewed so far. Don't worry, there is no backhander going on. We'll do something different completely next week. Then a little later on, we're going to be checking out the latest Doom Eternal DLC trailer, The Ancient Gods. So with that, let's go straight into the news.
There's a lot of news this week. First, we have the Control DLC announced, which is called Altered World Events. Apparently, it's tie-in to Remedy's game Alan Wake. That's quite, I find, interesting because Alan Wake was always was hinted at being part of the Control universe. But now it's official. That's pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward to this, so we'll check it out next week when it's out, or the week after next. Second, we have Capcom. Not surprised at Resident Evil 3's mediocre sales. I want to hear your thoughts on this, Ryan.
No way. They came out and said that?
They pretty much came out and said that, yeah.
What did they acknowledge as being the reasons for that?
But it was more of a smaller budget release, not as big of a bang as RE2, so they were kind of expecting the reception plus sales it got.
Wow.
Have you played RE3 yet, have you?
No, I pre-ordered it because I loved RE2 like so much. It's like one of my favorite games probably that I've ever played, the remake that is. When I saw the early reviews coming out for RE3, I cancelled my pre-order.
Oh, right. No,
Yeah.
see, I actually didn't do that. It's in my Steam library still sitting there untouched, so maybe on that night we can both play it together maybe and do an episode about it.
Yeah,
I'm sure I thought.
I'm waiting for a sale, like a big discount, because that's what pretty much everyone that's reviewed it has said. Like, it's too short. The multiplayer element is trash. They shouldn't have even bothered with that. They should have just focused more on the story, made it longer, or just added something new. Yeah.
But next we have the Doom Eternal DLC trailer for the campaign. It's called The Ancient Gods. It's only about, I think it's like 50 seconds long. You can't really see too much. We'll check it out later on though. And the fourth one we have will be Horizon Zero's bad PC port. I think Ryan watched a video about this quite recently. What's the rundown on that, Ryan?
Well, it seems that many people are having issues with frame drops, bad optimization, crashing, the works really. It's a shame. There is no real excuse for it at a game of that price point, though it does seem to be common these days. I know sort of Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game that comes to mind as being one of those. But these AAA games can't be doing that when they come in full price. Even if they are a PC port, they need to work from the outset. And it's quite right that people would be leaving negative reviews for any issues, really, in my opinion.
I saw those on Steam, the negative reviews, right? All of them are popping up. Seems to be getting quite the hate storm.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll patch it in time, but I'm very much on side of the consumers, really. Like, it's not acceptable, and they deserve to get bad reviews, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, you know what they say, vote with your wallet, so hopefully they'll fix it.
Yeah, don't buy it until it's fixed. Or even then, don't buy it till it's on sale, I'd say.
Yeah, noted, yeah. Next up, we have the GeForce RTX 30 series was finally confirmed by NVIDIA.
Whoop, whoop.
And the event for that will be held on September the 1st.
You hyped?
Hopefully. I am, but I'm not. I wasn't too hyped. I wasn't too impressed by the 20 series cards. I thought they were kind of overhyped.
Overpriced,
overpriced, and just meh overall. Like compared to 10 series, it didn't really do much more apart from RTX, and that's a bit meh as well. So hopefully 30 series will prove us wrong. And finally, we have the Avengers beta gameplay, the reception from it. Supposedly, everyone's fears were confirmed. It's repetitive, it's a bit generic, it's rather mundane. I mean, it's due out in like, I think a month, maybe 2 months. Can they really make it better in that much time? Personally, I don't think they can. But we'll find out when it comes out.
If a beta is at that sort of level of polish, then it is worrying, isn't it? It's not likely to be too much better. If you're talking about buggy stuff, then yes, it probably will
bugs,
be fixed.
yeah, but core design, like unlikely, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
I wouldn't be pre-ordering that if it were me.
It's annoying because like I love Marvel stuff, but if it is really bad, you can't reward bad practices or bad games with a pre-order, right? So yeah, we'll see how it turns out. But having said that, let's move on to our Wall of Fame and or Shame.
Okay, let's do it. So, as I said, we are looking at Desperados 3 this week. Here's what it's up against. As I said, it's another THQ game. It wasn't intentional that we would do 3 in a row, but we'll try and make sure that it's something different next week. So Desperados 3 is a top-down, real-time strategy game with stealth elements. It's a bit of a slow burner. You want to take your time as you go through. The game punishes you, I'd say, for rushing. There's a lot of saving and loading involved, so if that's your cup of tea, you'll probably like it. But what about you, Rob? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's definitely a slow burner. The first one was pretty much a clone of Commandos. I'm not sure you played the first game or Commandos.
Oh yeah, I played Commandos back in the day. I remember it being great, but I tried to play it again recently, and God, it's hard.
Sure,
unforgiving, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the right word. And so is Desperados in a way.
Yeah, well, number one was basically the same sort of thing. It was pretty much identical, tongue-tied. But
I got this.
Yeah, Desperados 2 was a bit sloppy compared to the first game, and they tried to do some really weird stuff in there, like you can go third person. It was really bizarre. And then you had Eldorado, which I haven't actually played, so I can't comment on that one. But Desperados 3 is a prequel to the first game.
There's the first
and
card.
I kind of like that from a narrative point of view. But the gameplay in it,
I could really use a shot.
I don't like it at all, I must admit.
Leave it to me.
I think it's very clumsy, and the controls are strange. Like, they just don't make much sense. They get better as you play it, and you start to click more in your head, but apart from that,
Now or never.
it just feels a bit cumbersome. Graphics I thought were a bit mediocre.
Still won't budge.
I know, it's just...
So
voice acting as well wasn't great.
is the gameplay quite different to the last in the series then?
Gameplay, it's kind of the same, but it isn't. It's because, like I say, like Desperados 1 was very much like Commandos. Well, you know, and like 3, as you can imagine, is nothing like Commandos really. I mean, it's got the same elements. Like, yeah, you got to be careful, use your character's strengths to advantage, distract enemies, knock their teeth out, knock them out, that sort of thing. But it's just the way it plays overall, the way it functions. It's just number 3 to me feels a bit like it's a beta, and it needs a lot of time still. Like, I don't like how the sub menus on each command as well. That kind of annoys me.
I'll throw one of my coins.
What sub menus?
So it's kind of like
He didn't hear
to
the
punch
coin.
someone, to knock them out. You have to press the keyboard button, right? You can't just press the hotkey for it and on the UI. Sorry, you know.
No, you can click on the UI or you can use the hotkeys. I tend to use the hotkeys almost exclusively, I'd say now.
We always hide the body.
I'm new to the series, so for me it was a pretty steep learning curve. Though the game does sort of ease you in from the start.
It does easy, really.
Better throw a knife.
It can be quite frustrating at times because it is so unforgiving, like you say.
Not this way.
But once you, I think the main thing that you need to learn is the hotkeys and sort of micromanaging. And once you get to that stage where you're flowing nicely with that, all that stuff, you can just sort of breeze through the missions a bit easier. It's all about saving, switching between character and using their abilities, and using them effectively with like the slow motion mode. Making it's we've got storms here, so you can probably see it in the background.
Throw it fast.
Like, sorry, you were saying it.
So yeah, it, like I say, it's not an easy game to get into if you're starting out. It can be frustrating, but the game certainly lets you know that you should be saving all the time. So much so that you get the counter pop up. I think by default it flashes up every 1 minute if you haven't saved the game. It will remind you. I changed it to 2 minutes because it was just too annoying. But I've had so many occasions where I've gone, fucking goddamn it, like I didn't save and I should have, and had to do a whole bit again. And that's really, I find, what takes you. It really drags on the mission sometimes. That sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, the save time is new, and I think maybe what I said earlier is probably a bad example about the sub menus. For example, you have to hold control to tie a body up and then put it in the bush.
Mm-hmm.
That I find really annoying. Whereas number one, and I think number two, you had like just the actual button on the UI for it. So, oh, grab body, right click, grab body, put it in the bush, job done, sort of thing, right? Whereas number three just feels a bit like they've over-engineered it to a certain extent. I'm pretty sure there's an option in the menu where you can change to classic Desperado controls. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't comment. I will try it.
Yeah, I noticed those options there. You can customize them as well.
Yeah, so it's probably quite a common complaint then, right? But overall, I think what bugs me the most is the voice acting's a bit meh. Especially for Cooper and Doc, is it?
Doc
McCoy?
Doc, the Scottish guy who doesn't sound Scottish at all. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just
So the voice acting, I thought was okay, but the issue I had was that they just didn't do any facial animations. Because the cameras are sort of above the characters.
What can I do for you, gentlemen?
Well, it just took me out of the story, like because they thought because the camera's sort of far away from the characters at all time, we just won't do any face animations, and I can clearly see that none of their lips are moving, and it just took me out of the story really. So yeah, I've really not been sucked into it that much at all. And I think
the first game had it like commandos, top left, you had like a little picture of them, and then text when they talk. That's a bit more immersive than a hovering camera that doesn't have a blank face. I don't know. To me, like I said, graphics were a bit meh.
Double trouble now.
The sounds are not the greatest. Voice acting, naff. But overall, it's not a bad game. Not at all, because obviously on Steam it has really good reviews as well.
Running away like dogs.
so. The sound and music, I have no complaints with. I think there's some quite catchy songs, like from what I heard, the sound design's pretty good. I did have a couple of moments where I was getting sort of random sounds, like buggy sounds that I wasn't supposed to be hearing, but other than that, no real complaints in that regard.
Yeah, I think this time there is definitely more of a focus on stealth. Because in the first game, it was obviously about stealth as well, but in the first game you could load your guns on the fly. In the third one you have to find ammo, which kind of makes it so you can't really go around, kind of shooting everyone in the face. You can't really.
The game, it definitely seems to be geared up to make you not want to take engagements at all. Like,
no murder spree for you,
There's no cover system. When guards shoot at you, you basically just get hit, whatever you're doing, really. When you get spotted by a guard, it's basically just like quick load time.
Pretty much.
You can take them on, but most of the time it will cause a load more guards to spawn, and it's unlikely that all your characters would survive, or if they did, they'd probably all be on low health, though you can heal later on in the game. So
Yeah, Doc can kill your guy, right? I'm pretty sure.
mm.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, honestly, I was looking forward to it, being a massive fan of the first game. Massive fan. But to me, it's borderline epic fail. And
Wow.
buy on sale. I would say, I'd honestly say SpongeBob has given me more fun than this game has.
It is. We have to bear in mind the price of this game. It is, I believe, £45. So AAA tier money, really. So we have to treat it as such.
Put it this way, I got it as a gift, and I'm not overly upset. But if I spent £45 on this game, I'd be triggered. So for me, on sale, I think SpongeBob is a bit better than Desperados personally.
Do you know what it feels like to me? Like the game is basically based around cheesing its own mechanics. Like obviously it's just based around dodging these cones of view that the enemies have, but you could literally sprint past an enemy behind him,
Let's leave quietly.
full whack, and they just don't turn around because all they care about is their cone of view.
You see, in
it
the first game, they heard you as well. Close enough and ran past, they heard you, and they spin around like, oh, who was that?
They do hear you if you attack someone, like with a melee attack, or you shoot a gun within range. But they don't hear you if they don't hear footsteps, and they don't hear you if you sprint past. And I've had a couple of comedy moments where I've just clicked for the characters to move, and they've just sprinted past the guard, and I've been like, wow, okay, they just literally sprinted past his face, and he didn't notice. Okay, I'll take it, but fine.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one because you play the game, you can tell there's a lot of love, care, and craft put into it.
Lucky day, is it?
But it just kind of falls short of being GG. It's just
you dragged me into.
there's too many small things that piss me off, frankly. So
Which of your
Yeah, for me-
characters is your
on.
favourite?
has to be Cooper, man.
Oh, really? For me, it's Hector. I love the way that you have to use him to kill or knock out, the long coats. They're the sort of mini boss.
Basically the
units.
bruisers, yeah.
And I also love the way that he can pick up two unconscious or dead bodies at the same time and still run while carrying them. That's fucking awesome.
Because the guy's massive and ripped, isn't he? Yeah.
And he's like
No,
an
yeah,
alcoholic. So there's that.
I'm pretty sure he's based on Sanchez in the first Desperados. Maybe it's the same guy, I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. But yeah, I don't know. Me, GG tops. What about for you? Sorry, no. Buy and sell tops. What about for you?
Let's see. Destroy all
do you-
humans was
What are you thinking?
how much was Destroy All Humans?
£25, and you could buy it for like 18 on some sites we shall not name.
Okay, 25. So we're talking more. We're talking almost double the money for Desperados.
Yep.
Yeah, I think thinking about the average player, and unless you're a fanboy, it's going to be a buy on sale jobby. It's not an epic fail. It is a decent game.
Yeah.
There's no real major things to say that are bad about it. It's pretty cool. You'll enjoy it if you're into this sort of stealth based game. You will enjoy it. If you're about blasting through levels, guns blazing, it's not for you. But if you're a bit of a tactician, yeah. But even then, I would say at the price point, it's going to be a buy on sale. I think if they'd, like you say, had put in more polish, if there was like more effort in terms of facial animations and immersion in the story, then we'd be looking at certainly GG territory, if not red hot. But it's certainly quite far away from that, and I wouldn't say it's a fair lever, but definitely on a sale for me.
So buy and sell it is then, yeah?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Buy on sale.
Buy and sell it is. Cool.
Okay, so with that out the way, let's jump straight into something I'm quite excited to see, and that is the trailer for the Doom Eternal DLC.
You are here to restore order to my world. With the demons in control, you understand the threat they pose to all my creations.
That's pretty much it. It's a teaser, right?
Well, that was definitely a teaser. Jesus, that was nothing.
It's more of a bore, if you ask me, but
Full trailer reveal is coming in a couple of weeks, it looks like. So, okay, well,
yeah, okay.
looks like
I wasn't really.
they got some
Go on, man.
snow maps. It looks like.
Yeah. It's kind of underwhelming, but I wasn't too much of a fan of Doom Eternal in the first place. You know, as you might know from my ranting, I thought compared to 2016 that they over-engineered the gameplay loop and they made it a bit like Desperados, where you kind of have to cheese the systems they put in place to kind of have fun with it. And to me, that's not really fun. Like, I want to play a game to a certain extent the way I want to play it, not the way they tell me to play it.
They definitely
And
added a lot more complication to the combat. There's way more things to sort of micromanage. Like you got your chainsawing and you got your flaming.
your flaming, your
You got
grenade,
your grenades, yeah. 2 types of grenades that you switch between.
your double jumping, your what do they call it again when you leap forward? Dashing,
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 crucible.
the crucible, the BFG, the other
Yeah.
weird one, the unmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just Doom Eternal for me kind of felt like a chore to play. I completed it. It was fun. The story, I must admit, was wank. It was a shit. It was a shit storyline.
I was
man.
going to say awesome.
It was awful, mate. Like compared to 2016, they completely didn't even acknowledge the fact that 2016 ended, and they kind of went in their own direction. Like, oh, so that happened, but fuck that. Who cares?
Mate,
Let's go another way.
It's
It's
Doom.
awful.
All it's
awful.
about is stomping, blowing heads off, and getting
Yeah,
glory kills. That's all it's.
but it's like, I want to kill shit. I want to kill everything. I want to have fun. Oh, you can't because you have no ammo. Oh, that's fun. Oh, but you can get ammo for chainsaw. Well, that's stupid. Oh, but you also need armor, so you got a flamethrower this guy. So
By the way, you've run out of ammo for your chainsaw.
that as well. It's just, yeah, to me, it was an awesome game, but they engineered too many annoyances into the gameplay that ruined the experience personally. But like I say, we'll go through it in a lot more detail the 27th of August, right? When the DLC releases.
Yeah, we'll wait till the DLC comes out. We obviously haven't reviewed Doom Eternal yet. Put it on the wall. So when that comes out, we'll just review it all as a full package, and go through Rob's gripes and
Shameful
talk
display. Shameful display ID. Whatever they're called.
I'm definitely not in the same boat as Rob. I really liked it, but we'll wait and see what the DLC looks like, and yeah, we'll see where it stacks up against the other games that are on there at the time.
Sounds good, man.
Cool. So that is the end of today's episode. What did you think about where we placed Desperados on the wall? let us know in the comments below. Please do like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. We are a new channel, so that would be greatly appreciated. Until next time, vamos.
Your varmint.
There's just, oh, I want this. Down she goes.